Hello everybody, Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. Got a video I want to do for you today. I think you'll find it super interesting. As you're looking here, this is a screenshot from my security camera, and that was Wednesday of this week on November 17th. It says 8:25, but that's about 4 minutes fast. So it was 8:21. The police were dispatched to my home without my knowledge by the Vivint security system. Okay, and so, but what had happened just a few minutes earlier, I'm gonna show you here. The Vivint Tech was here, okay? So that was at 8:04, which is really 8 o'clock. That's when the Vivint Tech was leaving my home and had got here, earlier. And basically the tech had called and said, we need to change out a chip in your panel. And I said, okay, and so he come over late or whatever, and, when we changed the chip and all that, and then he left. And then a few minutes later, the police showed up. I never touched the panel at all, So I knew that he had somehow sent that alarm, and that's what that had dispatched the police. But the point of that is that I didn't know that they were dispatched. Okay, that's not the first time that happened. That happened to me before. There was a code number that I'd written on a piece of paper sitting on top of the on the panel, and a tech had given it to me. And anyway, I put that number in. This was a couple of years ago, and when I did, it dispatched the police without my knowledge, and then the police showed up, and I'm going, I don't know, I put this number in, and I thought it was to disable the system, temporarily or whatever, but here, that was the second that happened, and so anyways, what I think is important on that is, I'm gonna show you here. This is in the recent news here in Midland, that a Midland man charges upgraded to murder. And what happened here is a guy, his name is David Wilson, 37 years old. He's the CEO of an oil company, Unitex, okay? Lives in $1 million home on Eagle Cove, okay? And then he has a fancy alarm system, whatever. And his wife hears the door alarm go off, okay? And so they think they have a burglar, okay? And wakes David up. He gets his gun out, and then the alarm on the front door, the door's open twice, so I guess the alarm goes off twice. He shoots and he kills a police officer, Officer Nathan Heidelberg, in March 2019. Total accidents, what it sounds like to me, he filed a lawsuit against the security company. You can see how that connects to the police showing up at my home, and I didn't know about it. That was the same thing that happened in my home twice now, 2 different times. One time because I put the code in, the second time because the tech was here, and I'm guessing he probably put the code in, and that's what sent him, and he didn't even know the police. So not even the Vivint Tech knew that the police were going to show up. And so that's similar to here. Well, they originally charged him with manslaughter because there was a police officer killed or whatever, and just recently they upgraded the charges to murder. So now he's facing life in prison, and they were fixing to start the court case within the last month, and somebody had COVID, and so they pushed it on to next year. So that's basically what's going on here with this case. Is just amazing, that he's being charged and looking at life in prison because it's happened. Y'all can Google that and find that if you want, or I might copy and paste some of it down there to let you know. Now, I'm going to talk about Vivint a little bit more here on my alarm system. After, I survived a home invasion, premeditated murder attempt in January 2012. Lots of people know that, right? I was shot by somebody under my home, burglar alarms going off in the attic. Now documented 50 other homeowners across, America reporting people in the attic. A dozen other homes in Midland where people reported people in the attic. I documented. That's the ones I know about. Another dozen in Odessa, the sister city 20 miles away. This is going on all over the place. I saw a young Hispanic guy in my attic. It's not a what if, could be, but after I had survived the murder attempt, I was called crazy. Oh, he thinks people in the attic. Nobody told me this is going on all over the place. At the same time, I said I was shot by somebody under my home. I now documented a long list of people saying tunnels and underground homes are here. One of them was running for sheriff, you know. I mean, one lady tells me that there's 4 3-bedroom, $1 million underground homes, and they were having pedophile parties down there. That's a recorded phone call. It's believed this is where the famous oil show parties were going on. And, where my friend Angie was at in 2010, I believe she told me about a young girl murdered there. And then another person says, go look at your at Google Maps, look up your address, 3802 Fair Circle, look in your backyard, or she didn't say that, but I'll go there and look at my backyard, and there's a large building on the block screen that you can't see from above ground. Well, obviously it's one of those $4 million underground home, 3-bedroom underground homes, and obviously that's where they were having the oil show parties. Obviously that's where that little girl was murdered at. Angie told me about. In 2013, the remains of a 14 to 21-year-old black girl was found. There's Crime Stoppers on it, and ain't nobody trying to solve that. If they were, they'd be uncovering these underground homes, And I suspect that's because they were having oil show parties there, and multi-billion-dollar oil companies, are paying people off and saying, nope, no, just ignore this. This is a murder that we're gonna live with, or whatever. I guess is the best I can tell, And they destroyed my life. Remember, I'm crippled for life, living under the threat of death. Had thousands of crimes committed against me. They're trying to terrorize me from my home. It's what they're trying to do, because they know that it's rigged. They know there's an underground home in the backyard. They know they murdered a little girl there. I mean, the police are not stupid. I mean, let's be real, okay? Anyways, with all that story said, the other thing is, now we know police were under my home. That was proven with police reports in 2019. Evidence was found. Absolutely no doubt. It might have been police that tried to murder me. That's another part. And then another part of that story is another woman said she worked on the project, named how much it was, $7.35 million. Finished 1987, called the Safe House Project, was put in for George H.W. Bush. And that might be part of the reason that, we'll cover up this murder and just blame it on because it's a Bush safe house, or some kind of crap like that, like they're just going to cover up murders for that, And, and then the last homeowner of this home died the week before the 2008 oil show started, obviously murdered. There's conflict in reports of what city he died in, Fort Worth or Midland, and obviously they killed him here, took him to Fort Worth. I mean, it's real clear because it's the week before the 2008 oil show started. With all that said, Vivint came by my home after that in 2012 and wanted to sell me a burglar system, and I told them, I've been shot in my home, all this. Well, this will give you more evidence, or whatever. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll agree to it, but you have to install it in my attic. I bet there's not a Vivint system installed in the attic in the country, right? But, that's what I did. I wanted it installed in my attic, So in 2012, I saved up disability money and I paid for this expensive Vivint security system and had it installed in my attic, okay? Well, I had my other systems still there that were going off. Remember, burglar alarms were going off when I shot, and they were from my private, system or whatever. They wasn't a third-party national system like this Vivint. Well, all them other systems still going off. I still hear people moving around. The Vivint system sitting there stupid. I mean, I believe that they were hacking the Vivint system. Maybe that's why they sent this person over here to try to sell it to me, because they got it hacked. And interestingly, this is kind of a side story. The next door neighbor at 2014, she told me that the neighbor at 2011 tried to get her to put in a Vivint alarm system, and the guy over there was selling or worked for the Vivint and was selling alarm systems, okay? And then she later has a burglar at the house in 2014, and the police come tell her it's the guy that lives at that house at 3811, which was the Martin house back then, that was trying to sell her the Vivint system. I thought, I ain't that interested. And that's what I thought. They were hacking that system. But anyway, I kept calling Vivint. I'm going, here my alarms are going off. I've been shot in my house, and your system is not doing nothing. Your system's hacked. I keep telling them, your system's hacked. Oh, that ain't possible. They send the tech, same thing. And then so the second time this sends the tech over, because I'm complaining about this, we found a programming error. And I thought, yeah, bullshit, But anyway, the very next day, they dispatched the police to my home. This is the police report right here. This is when Vivint dispatched the police to my home in December 9th, 2012. Now remember, I was shot on January of 2012, earlier that year, so a year earlier, okay? And then here's the text message from dispatcher: alarm is in the attic, homeowners there, think someone is in the attic. Now, well, the Vivint alarm system said somebody was in the attic. I didn't. It went into alarm, and it did its job. There was somebody in the attic, okay? And then while we're looking at the police report, I'm going to show you this section right here. This was put in by April Chandler right after I survived the murder attempt, and she diagnosed me as a paranoid schizophrenic. Okay, I wasn't diagnosed with that, and I've never been diagnosed with that, and at all. And the real truth was I was cleared by mental health at the hospital. That was a lie made up by this dirty cop that was caught tampering with the evidence, lying on police reports. She was one of the 11 secret police that were caught on camera. Took 6 years to identify all that, but she destroyed my life with this life-destroying lies. Because see, I'm a crime victim that had been reporting these felony burglaries at my house, not knowing the police were involved in committing the felony burglaries. Like I said, it's now proven police were under my home. April Chandler, I don't have proof she was under my home because she supposedly was at the 7-Eleven store after I called out, and basically said she climbed in my truck when it was actually Rosie Rodriguez. They both lied about that. But anyway, I just want to point that out, this lie told by April Chandler on the police report that follows me around. So any police officer looks up my name, they see this lie by April Chandler. She probably done that to 100 innocent people. Just make up a blatant life-destroying lie. She could have said, oh, he has AIDS, or whatever. She's just making up lies. That's absolutely not true. I was not diagnosed with that. I don't have that. I'm a victim of a home invasion and a capital attempted murder. These are dirty cops. That's all there is to it. Okay, I'm going to show you on this first time the Vivint here, and I thought this was real interesting that the alarm call coming from Vivint was changed to a warrant call. Okay, so they were going to come arrest me, and then a few minutes later they changed the warrant call back to an alarm call and called it a mistake. Okay. Here's the names of that was on there: Eliad Emperin and Michael Chandler. That is the husband of April Chandler. That's the dirty cop up here. I'm telling you that just smeared my name and destroyed my life to cover up this premeditated murder attempt. Okay, this police report I didn't get until 2019. It was one of the ones that was subpoenaed by in 2013 for the protective order and illegally withheld by the police. And I believe probably the reason that they illegally withheld it is because they had changed it to a warrant and then back. So Vivint calls the police on a valid alarm, in my attic, and they come over to arrest the crime victim. That's literally what was, and that's why I believe they withheld that this police report number MP1212 right there. Okay. The second time Vivint dispatched the police was here. Okay. And this is December 19th. Okay. So 10 days later. And I want to show you the message on this. Attic alarm company speaking to a child over the line. He's afraid somebody in the attic. Okay. Well, there's more smearing my name, ain't it? And so it looks like Vivint smeared my name on that one, but it was their system located in my attic that went into alarm, and it was a valid alarm. I'm going to say it again. There's 50 other homeowners, documented now reporting people in the attic with a dozen other addresses, and that's only the ones we know about. It's going on all over the place. I believe it's probably human trafficking, and definitely a crime ring connected. They're all connected together, and it's for burglary, theft, and murders. They're not stealing TVs. They're stealing heating, cooling, electricity, shelter, and they're threatening the life. You try to stop them, they'll murder you. They'll cut your phone lines, they'll shoot you, send the secret police over to tamper with evidence and lie on the police reports, and the police may come from under your home. Literally, that's what happened to me. Okay, I want to show you here the police on there: Bullard, Kevin Bullard, Chad Simpson, Stephen Bracken. Chad Simpson was one we found out in 2018. He was one of the 11 secret police. His name was illegally omitted from the police report. And then in 2014, he went on to murder his wife and kill himself, you know. And a lot of people asking if he'd been arrested, would Sandra Simpson be alive? And I think the answer to that's obviously yes. Okay, Stephen Bracken right here was the other one. And he's the one that put this comment here. It says, no, child. He said he thinks there are people in the walls, you know. And, you know, I look back on that and I'm going, you know what? I bet you anything he knew that. Okay, obviously Chad Simpson did, right? But you know, I'm going, I bet you Bracken knew that. Well, because how they're rigging these homes is they're coming under the home, well, you know, with the tunnel, probably from the neighbor's house, and then they modify a wall. They come up a wall with a trapdoor, hidden trapdoor into the attic. It allows them to come and go all they want without being seen. Okay, I mean, you know, so they can come 100 times a day and never be seen. Okay, and then working with these corrupt police that destroy the life of the crime victim, knowingly destroy the life, because they're hiding from the public that these crimes are happening all over the place. Okay, so then that was the 2 times that Vivint dispatched the police to my attic. Both times they refused to go up in my attic and look. They would not even climb up there and look, and that's where the alarm system is, okay? Then I get 2 letters. I combined them here in one letter from the city of Midland right here, okay? You'll see the date in December there on that one, okay? And it's showing the report number, and that's how I figured out I didn't get that one report on that first one where they changed the warrant, you know, and I didn't get it until 7 years later or whatever, okay? And so here it is, and they're saying I'm going to be fined if they get any more false alarms. Now keep in mind they refused to go up and look both times. Come over, smeared my name, called me crazy, and then sent me a letter. So I disabled this expensive system that I had saved disability money up to buy, and you know, and it's basically worthless. So you know, when you know, I've kept it because it's a backup emergency phone. Because when they ambushed and shot me, they cut my phone lines and shot me by surprise. I mean, it was premeditated murder is what it was, you know. And God saved my life. And so I just want to show you that and how that relates back here to Midland man charges upgraded to murder because the alarm system dispatched the police to his house without him knowledge. And that's happened to me now twice. You know, they ought to use this in court. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.